All right, good morning, guys. It's 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday, March 1st, 2017. Just a quick video, guys, on the upcoming Canadian dollar news that's coming out at 10 a.m., so in about an hour and a half. We've got the Bank of Canada rate announcement and statement. Now, if you watched my video last night, I talked about that really briefly, and basically, as a quick review, they're not expecting to change the rate, and there will not be a press conference apparently, but there will be a statement, and so the market certainly will be looking towards the statement for any hints on where the Bank of Canada really kind of stands fundamentally, especially since they're not expected to change the rate. So with that, I just want to look at a couple of pairs, and I'm going to look at just two in particular, but to see where they might be going. And so the first one is the Canadian Swiss. Not a real common pair to trade, but it does form some decent patterns. And let me go out here a little bit. Yeah, probably around the 6 hour or so. Anyways, this is how I have it labeled right now, and so we'll see. But this looks to be, this has been pushing up, which is what I wanted to see leading into the news. So I think this is a wave 4 that's setting up here. So we'll go down for wave 5. So based on that, I would say that the statement may have a little bit of a bearish or a dovish tone to it, and so that's what I'm looking at. So this looks like a correction going up here, and so we'll see how that plays out, but that does appear to me that to be a correction, and assuming that is a wave 4, assuming it goes about as far as the wave 1 did, it's about 95 pips or so. So let's say we're up here somewhere when the news comes out. That'll bring us down to about the 75 area. So that's Canadian Swiss. Canadian yen looks kind of similar. Now this is, the way these candles draw out, this is really stretched out right here, but this is the 8-hour chart, which is really where I could kind of see this. And you can see it here on the 6-hour again. And same thing, I have this labeled, this 5 over here is part of this larger picture. See this here, so you can just ignore this other 5 over here. This is part of another labeling, because I think this whole thing is part of a correction on a larger time frame to an uptrend. So I do think eventually this pair will move back up again, but for now on this lower time frame it's still going down. So I'm looking at this as again as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down for 5, and again as an approximate measurement for wave 5. You get about 180 pips here. This is a yen pair, so there's a lot of pips. 180 pips there on the wave 4. So the wave 5 would take us down to about the 83.65 area. So and that's what this one's looking like too. Although this move has been pretty strong to the upside, impulsively. In fact, I had an arrow there thinking that was going to go down at some point, but it's still going up. But I still do think, looking at the larger pattern, that this will go down. But again, this is a yen pair, so you have to always be a little cautious with those. So U.S. Canadian, just looking at a couple of other ones now. Of course, this pair has been really rallying very strong because of the dollar. So I don't know if I want to jump on a moving freight train here. If you're already in this pair long, I probably would stay with it through the news, but I'm not sure I'll be taking this, but I was just curious to look at it. This is not a pair actually that I trade very often, if ever. It's just one of those things, I just don't like it. Everybody's got their favorites, so this is not one of mine. So but anyways, like I said, this is already going up, so I might be looking just to hold that if I was still in that long. And then the Aussie Canadian. Now, of course, the Aussie's been rallying since the news came out last night. So if that rally continues and the Canadian is weak, the Canadian report is dovish, that should really send this pair high. Once again, out on the daily chart here, we've been moving up. You know, I'm actually just looking at this for the first time. You know, this whole thing, this whole pattern could be an ABC, but it was followed by a substantial. It was preceded by a nice uptrend. Then we had this move down. This could be an ABC of B, and then it could go back down again. So, but this is the daily chart. Going down a little bit. We've entered into a little bit of consolidation here on the 1 hour chart, probably ahead of the news, because the Aussie and a lot of the other pairs are still going up. So, not surprising paired with the Canadian here that it's kind of choppy right now as the market waits for the news. So, this one's not real clear to me either. So, you know, here on the 3 hour, it shows it is pulling back a little bit. And so, you know, we might get some more movement up here, but I may not trade this one. So I'm not a big fan of Canadian news. I don't know if I've mentioned that in the past. So there's a lot of whipsawing and volatility, it seems to me, in these Canadian news releases. So I'm always very cautious to trade them, anyways. But you know, with this particular one, if I trade it, to me right now, I would say it'd probably be the Canadian yen and the Canadian Swiss short. The other one, the pound Canadian, is going down pretty strong right now. So of course, if the news for the Canadian was negative, that would send this pair back up. But you know, we can see we just in the last couple hours we had this strong push down on the Canadian dollar. And that could be the end of a correction, I'm not sure. But then again, this whole thing could be an ABC. Now this B is really stretched out, but you could be looking at a move back up here, and that this is just a correction to the uptrend here for the C. But that's a pretty strong move down. The pound has been under pressure, so again, two weak currencies. If the news is negative, you got two weak currencies. You know, a weak Canadian, a weak pound. Probably not something that I would want to trade, but I did want to look at it anyway. So again, and let's see what else. Kiwi Canadian. I actually didn't even look at this. Kiwi Canadian. You know, we kind of we had this move up, and this was a trend, and then now we're moving back down again. This looks similar to the pound Canadian, where I'm just not sure if I want to work with this, because the Kiwi's been under pressure, and so again, if you have two weak currencies, it doesn't set up for a very good trade. So I probably won't bother with that one either. So again, guys, that's it. Like I said, if I'm gonna trade these are the two that I'm looking at: pound Canadian yen and Canadian Swiss. The rest of them I probably will pass on. I still have trades open from the Aussie last night, Euro Aussie. I did close my Aussie Kiwi because it pretty much hit my target for that wave 5 that I was talking about on around the 12-hour chart, and so I took that one off the board. But the Euro Aussie and the Aussie Swiss I'm still in. I'm going to hold those for a while. So anyways, so that's it, guys. Again, don't trade based on anything I'm telling you. Make your own decisions, come to your own conclusion, do your own analysis. It's just for informational purposes. And again, like I said, these Canadian pairs can be tricky to trade, in my opinion. So be cautious, but that's what it looks like right now. So maybe I'll make a follow-up. Probably won't be until later today because I'll be out, but we'll see how it goes, if there's anything worth reporting. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll talk to you all soon.